Okay, this time we're going to talk about point-slope formula. We've already talked about slope. We've talked about slope-intercept form. Now we're going to talk about point-slope formula. Now you're going to use this one, obviously, when you have a point and you have the slope, or you can find a point and the slope. Now the difference between this and slope-intercept form, when you use slope-intercept form, you need to know what the y-intercept is. And with point-slope formula, you don't have to know it. You can have two random points and it'll figure it out for you. Okay, so you'll end up getting questions like this sometimes. It'll say if you have a point 2, 4, and another point of, we'll say 6, 9. Okay, and they want you to make that into an equation. Okay, now if you're going to make this into an equation, you're ultimately going to want it to look like slope-intercept form, but using point-slope formula will get you right there. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to look at our formula. Okay, now I do have a point already. I can choose either one of these, but I don't have my slope. So I'm going to start off by finding my slope. Say, oh, that should have been 6-9. Sorry about that. 6, 9, not 6-9. Okay, so now let's go through and find our slope. So we got our slope equals, okay, y2, so that's 9 minus 4 over 6 minus 2. So y is minus x's, right? And that's going to end up giving you 9 minus 4 is 5, 6 minus 2 is 4. So now we've got our slope and we've got a point. Now personally, I'm just going to use this smaller point a little bit because it looks a little easier to me on not real reason, but they're smaller numbers, so that's going to work. Alright, so we plug everything in now. We got y minus the y from our point, which is 4, equals our slope 5 over 4 times x minus our x from our point, which is 2. Okay, now we need to distribute is our next step. So we got y minus 4 equals 5 over 4x minus, and then 5 over 4 times 2. Okay, so that's going to cross cancel your 4 and your 2. You got 2 on the bottom. So it's 5 over 2. Alright, now we got to bring that 4 over to get our y by itself. So plus 4. Alright, now this is not very fun, right? So we got a negative 5 over 2 and we got a 4. So what do we do there? Okay, well, the easiest way to do it, I guess, would be to just make it that 4 into a fraction, right? And we can turn that into 4 over 1. Now you can also set it up as borrowing. So you notice we're going to subtract the two numbers, right? Because we got a positive and a negative. So we got 4 minus 5 over 2. Okay, so we can turn the 4 into 3 and 2 over 2, but that doesn't help us, right? So instead, we're just going to do this. We're going to make it improper fraction. So 4 over 1 minus 5 over 2, we're going to get common denominators. Let me give it some little extra room over here. Common denominators, that's going to give us, whoa, that kind of went crazy, didn't it? There we go. Okay, our common denominator is going to be 2, so I'm going to multiply this one times 2 over 2, which is going to give us 8 over 2 minus 5 over 2. If you subtract, you get 3 over 2. And now there's our answer. So we now have y equals 5 over 4x plus, okay, because the 4 is bigger, 3 over 2. And now we're in slope-intercept form. Okay, it's just that simple. So that's point-slope formula. Sometimes you'll also be given things like, and I'm going to shrink this down for a little bit, so, oops, I just made a mark. Try not to freak out by the moving. Okay, the other thing you might have is they may just give you right away your slope is 3 and your point is 2, 5. And so you're just going to do the same thing. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, plug them in. Y minus 5 equals 3 times x minus 2. So, distribute. Y minus 5 equals 3x minus 6. Add your 5. and you got y equals 3x minus 1. And you're done. So point slope formula honestly is probably the best way if you do not absolutely have your y-intercept and your slope, you're going to want to use point slope formula. That's going to be the best way to go about it. Hope that helps.